All right, YouTube. So we're here for second thoughts on the T-28 1.1 meter. This is something that I knew was coming eventually. I just didn't know when. And so now that we have reviewed the Gen 2 charger, which is sitting right here, and it's really nice. We've been using it for a couple of days now. I love that it's got a power switch, which is nice because these ones I unplug and plug back in each time. And it is just so nice to be able to just put it in and it's done and it's working. It initiates the smart charge. So nice. Really, really nice. And then also it's been really nice, the fact that you can switch to an IC5. Really, really nice. So we're gonna shut that off and we'll show you. One other feature, as you know, they don't have the balance lead, so I see that as a net negative right now because I have some planes that I need it. But on this plane, it's really nice because of the way they engineered this pocket. I was like, how are you gonna get those things through with all those leads on there? Well, this is one instance where I feel like it's just nothing but positive. So this is also a 50C 2200 4S. Obviously, this plane does not need a 50C by any stretch, but you know what? 50C is still pretty awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. Throttle cuts on. Obviously, we're using the NX6 just like we were before on the Maiden. And we're gonna see how this does. And we're gonna see if we have any bad tendencies with the pack. So we'll let that initiate. And this has the AR631 in it, which is a new receiver for me. Looking for 2 dances. That means safe select is, we're bound with safe select. Okay. That felt a little different. Why did it feel different?
Does the pack need to go forward just to, is it hitting?
I don't know. I don't think it is. Okay. So this canopy reminds me of the P47 that I had that was a 1.1 meter as well. And that thing, I always had a hard time with the canopy. I had those front-facing pins. Okay, so we're not even gonna worry about the CG. We're just gonna fly this thing coming up right next. Okay, so given this is a second thoughts video, I wanna do a little bit more taxiing here. This plane has proven to be really good. We've only flown it a few flights, but I'm really happy with it. Our first flights came on a somewhat windy day. I'll trade you spots here, camera crew. This thing will get off the ground really quick, especially on 4S. Okay, we're gonna go about halfway there, camera crew. Going over some frozen ice there. Obviously it's frozen if it's ice. Okay, here we go. See how quick you can get off the ground? Pretty sure you couldn't do unlimited vertical with the first one like this. Man, that is so beautiful up there.
They're gonna have to take your word for it.
Uh-oh.
It's too far away to see.
Are you not getting any footage?
No, just not when you go straight up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at this. Just how gorgeous. It just carries forever. I just love the way this thing looks up against those trees. We just reviewed a couple of other planes that had a camo scheme, and I'll tell you what, the camo looks gorgeous until you drop down like this, and then the plane just wants to disappear, like badly disappear. Look at that thing, just not even a thought. Obviously we're in AS3X here, flying down in the bowl. And then right out of it. This is such a capable plane. It's just crazy. I actually really like the way the battery goes in on this one because it's a pressure fit. The only reason I wouldn't like that is if I had a pack that was too physically large to fit, and then you're kind of on your own to figure it out. Really, really like the way this thing flies though. Look at that dead calm stick, or windsock rather. Try to do an upside down glide. Not quite enough. You know why? Because I forgot to mechanically trim the elevator. We had trim. We're maxed out on our trim for elevator, and I just forgot to mechanically trim it. Not a big deal at all, just sometimes that'll cause your AS3X to act a little weird. I don't think it's caused any problems on this thing. You see the shadow on the snow? Let's see if we can go over here, actually over in the bowl. The last flight, we kind of got interrupted somewhat by the poor FedEx guy. Do you remember that, camera crew?
I do.
Look at those flags. Weird. Wonder what those are for.
They reappeared.
About 30 to 40% throttle here. This thing just wants to fly so bad. Little extra throttle there, making those tight turns close to the ground. Just a little bit of an insurance policy. Might as well be driving a radio-controlled car here, guys. I love the way this thing looks in the air. What do you think, camera crew?
It's really cool. It's fun to watch.
1 minute time remaining, evidently, according to the British girl in my transmitter.
Well, at least you don't listen to her either.
You good? Mm-hmm. A little bit of vibration there. Safe. Hands off. Totally hands off. Totally hands off, see? Okay, we'll show you the limited bank angles here. About 50% throttle, there's limited bank angles. You'll notice the nose is not getting corrected there. So I'm gonna come over here and just, I'll get turned around. Okay, so that's full bank. That's full bank. That's full bank. You got a pretty good amount of bank angle there. If you really kick your rudder, you can fly it just like I was before. The difference is when you let go of the sticks, it's gonna recover for you. You may have heard my vibration. I am in safe. Takes a little bit more real estate to do everything, but you still have full control just about because the limited bank angles are so wide. Not quite as much rudder. You guys may not be aware of this, but I do a lot of flying with rudder. That was a safe landing. I'll just turn so we don't have to chase it so far. I'm 35 seconds past my 5-minute timer, or 5-minute timer, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I felt like that was probably fine. Let's fly a little longer, so we'll remember to add 30 seconds to the time.
Okay.
So far, very impressed with this plane. 3S is plenty to get you running, by the way. With the snow, we have been real limited on what we could do for flying. Okay, let's do a safe takeoff. Throttle cuts off. 50% throttle. No input whatsoever. A little bit more throttle. I had to give it some elevator there. Otherwise, I would have ran into the berm. Let's just show you what it looks like here. See, you can really sharply turn. You just got to pull the sticks. See what I'm doing there? Just kind of moving the throttle all the way to the side margin here. And then when I want to straighten out, I just let go. Let's try a landing again. One thing about this bird with safe, you got to try to eat up all your energy and it just wants to keep going. And airplanes like to fly, guys. Man, I love the way that plane looks. Okay, out of safe. I can't handle it anymore. Okay, we're gonna try to come under. You good?
Yep.
Change your plans.
Oh, man.
Off the runway, please. Thanks. So we're at 3 minutes 30 past our 5, plus 30 would be 4. So we've now just about doubled our flight time. Zero hesitation from this pack. This would be a Gen 2 smart pack, which just basically means we don't have balance leads. You guys want to know the trick to know how to not crash when you're on 4S on a plane like this, which would basically fly on 3S? You want to know the trick?
What?
Save your throttle. First of all, I'm at 50% throttle here. So you have to be more conservative. If you give it a burst and you don't feel it, you know you're getting close. Immediately back off. I'm out of throttle now. Just gliding. Full throttle. Even after, oh, that's 2 minutes and 33 seconds. I said almost a double the flight time. You know why I said that wrong, folks? I apologize. I didn't mean to misrepresent things. We're at 2 minutes and 30 right now, which means that we are at 3 minutes plus 5 would be 8 on a 2200 4S Smart Pack Gen 2. You are just not going to experience the sag like you do with other packs. And the reason you won't is because they're always balancing themselves. There's a warning. Did you hear it? Mm-hmm. That is so cool. Let's do a touch and went, and then continue to disregard all warnings. That is just phenomenal. There's another warning, 14 volts. That is so cool. It's just so cool to know that and not have to wonder. Folks, setting a timer is like a thing of the past once we get into this technology fully. And just look how rock solid this plane is, guys. Oh, there's a warning, 13.9 volts. We're just gonna push it to the limit. What do you think, camera crew?
Would expect nothing less.
That's why you love me. Oh, no. Hey, camera crew, ask me if I would do this on a 1S.
On a 1S?
No, I mean, not with this plane. 14 volts.
No.
It started a new countdown. Oh, that is so awesome. So basically we're at 10.5 minutes of flight time. We did take out the on the ground waiting for us to walk up to it time, by the way. This plane is just awesome flying. So good to fly. I almost wonder if this is better than the Carbon Cub V2 with all the bells and whistles that just confuse the heck out of everybody. That's 10 minutes of flight time down the tubes. And I'm still doing unlimited vertical, or near unlimited vertical. Still don't even feel it, guys. I'm getting my warning every... Did you feel that gust? Was that from the plane?
No.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Nope, not happening. Not yet. I feel like it's diminishing somewhat. There's our warning again. It's like back off your throttle and then you'll be golden. Little cross control to keep it flat. Little flare and a jank at the end. Okay, so We're 1 minute 22 past, so that would be 2 plus 10 would be 12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Did you bring your checker out?
No. You know why?
Because it's cold?
Because I don't need it. Because look, watch this. Hopefully you guys can see. Oh, that is so awesome.
Read it for the people in case they can't see.
13.8 volts on the output. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that is so cool. I'm loving it. It's got the ES3X gains. It's got the gyroscope, G-force. All right, hold on. What?
What?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not looking at you like anything.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
I can tell when you want me to do something crazy.
What? You mean not take off again?
No, we're doing it.
See? So I said, at least you don't listen to the girl in your transmitter either.
So we did 12 minutes of flight time on this 5-minute flight. Let's see what we look like now. 50% throttle under the power lines. There's our warning. Oh no, it died. Just kidding. Here it comes. Did you lose it?
I just can't see it on the camera when you're straight up.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I mean, I don't want to make it hard on you. I just want to make the flight awesome. 50% throttle. No warning. No warning. I think we're good to go. I got to watch for that tree, though. That tree that we hit earlier. Mm-hmm. Man, that is gorgeous. I am just loving the way this thing flies. Not only is it rock solid, but it just looks good doing it, you know. I'm almost not annoyed that it doesn't have flaps and retracts because I just don't care. It flies so good. Horizon, if you're listening, when that 1.2 meter, when you guys do that again, oh yes. After 10 million units of this thing get sold and you decide to redo the 1.2, don't forget I like this one. And by the way, this G2 battery, are you freaking kidding me? I don't even feel a sag yet. What is going on? This is just crazy. And I am not being nice to it. I'm doing like, you know, my typical efficiency flight, unlimited vertical. That's the worst thing you could do if you're on low voltage, because you know you're going to need to get into the throttle to save you from that high alpha configuration. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. This plane is just so energy efficient. I'm loving it. Here we go. I'm still not getting warnings. I was going to land and then I'm like, nah. As soon as I let off the throttle, it recovers. It's like instant. You guys hear it? I hope you can. Guys, how long have we flown? What are we at, like 14, 15?
18 or almost 19 minutes on video.
Wow.
And you talked for a couple minutes inside.
That's all the elevator I got there. I feel like I gotta be running out of juice. But it's just not. It's just not. By the way, you can set your telemetry warnings. That's just incredible. Okay, I finally feel like I'm ready to put it down. You good?
Yeah.
Now, if I get to about 70% throttle, I get the warning. Okay, so here we go. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so we are at 49 seconds from a whole nother timer. I gotta take off again, I'm sorry. Now it's just bragging rights. I wanna get through 3 timers. I'll just go out there and do an actual efficiency flight, 60% throttle there. Oh yeah, she is so gorgeous, this plane is. Another efficiency move there, as you can see. I'm just gonna bring it into a nice
10, 9, 8, 7,
6, 5, 4,
3,
3.
2, 1.
Got to eat up that runway carefully. Okay, so just to be clear, that was 3 times 5 plus half would be 15.5 minutes. And we're still not dead. That is a really good flight time. Really good flight time. I am thrilled with that. On 4S, no less. And I felt like the only time that we really lost power was on that last, vertical climb where we really lost it. Okay, so let's go in the shade. There is no shade. Never
There's
mind.
shade right now. Oh, I can see it.
What do you think?
No.
14.9 volts. That is just so cool, guys. So cool. I am loving this plane. If you haven't already bought one, you may just need to do that right now. Check the link in the description below. Also, don't forget to check. We will list this battery. This is the Gen 2. This is the Gen 2 2200 4S50C. It's not even warm. That's incredible. That is incredible. What a nice battery. Granted, I must say, I don't know if the Gen 1 would have done any worse, but I can tell you that that Gen 2 just did awesome, and it fit really good in this configuration where they've got that opening that it passes through. Now, that being said, if you don't have the cash for the Gen 2, Gen 1 Smart's just as fine. We did fly with it. It fit through the slot just fine. The 3S kind of went the other direction. It seemed to fit a little better vertical than horizontal because it hugged better. And there is a little bit of a recess for the wires, okay? So when you slide that thing through, it'll go. That being said, also on Gen 1 packs, some of them have the balance leads coming out this side and some come out the same side as the discharge lead. So that might be one way you can pick which battery you want to throw into here. Because unless you're planning on going out and flying for like 6 or 7 hours, you're only going to need like 2 packs to get a half an hour flight time. That is incredible. Incredible. And by the way, this thing could fly on a bigger pack. It would do it all day long. I'm sure it would. I'm not going to point it out to you because, to be honest with you, you don't even need me to show you. It's so obvious this thing would handle a bigger pack. And it is so light on its feet. I just love the way this thing flies. It does everything I want it to and more, except for flaps and retracts. But to be honest with you, like I said, simple, easy to fly, ready to go for somebody that's new to the, RC thing. The grass, I'm sure it'll do all right on grass, but we just can't test it right now. So we'll try to get, we'll get you guys a video eventually with some grass landings and things. Tall grass, no. Short grass, yes. Man, it just does everything great. Any other thoughts, camera crew?
I feel like I need to apologize to T-28s because I was not excited about them when you first got your first one.
I know.
And I like both of them. This one is really cool. It's fun to watch. I can tell that you like it. I've watched you fly enough.
This plane is a good plane.
It's very cool.
It's a really good, solid plane. And not only that, but it's not so huge that you can't store the thing.
No, that's a great size.
The other thing too is you can pull off the gear, 1, 2 clips, and then you gotta have at least a 6-inch screwdriver is what they're suggesting. And you do have to have like a number 1, not a number 2. Number 2 is too big to get that screw. So once you undo that, this comes right off. And then you're golden. If you wanna go for just grass landings on the belly, just remember to chop your throttle plenty early and flare. And just right before you touch the ground, and you can flare. Pull back on the stick all the way and it'll do it just fine. I don't want to screw up the finish on the bottom. I think it looks gorgeous. I was a little bit nervous because I love the other navy trim scheme with the international orange and the white and the international orange. It pops in the sky. It's one of my favorite color schemes. So when I saw that they were doing this in yellow, I was like, I don't know if I'm into that. But the thing is, now that I've seen it up against the trees, up against the blue sky with the cloud cover, it is just every bit as gorgeous. Yep. I always love a yellow plane because they just pop. They do good with every type of backdrop. So for a radio controlled airplane to be yellow, you just can't beat it, you know.
Yep.
Unless it's of course a yellow Dynam turbojet, and then it just looks like a banana.
Yeah, not that
on
one.
Parade. Yeah, not that one. That one should not be yellow.
No. and not that yellow.
Not that yellow. That's like banana yellow.
Yeah.
This is like good yellow.
Yep.
So love the plane. NX6 has been near flawless. When I say near flawless, a couple of real minor glitches. Surely they're going to get them in the firmware updates. Also, if you haven't seen the video, not sure exactly when you guys are watching this relative to our Gen 2 charger setup, we also show you how to update all the Gen 1 chargers, get the firmware up to snuff. That way you can charge the new Gen 2 batteries, should you decide to do so, with your old Gen 1 chargers. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. And then just to be clear, Gen 2 chargers will charge Gen 1 just fine, and they'll also charge non-smart batteries, provided you have the right ends or adapters for them. Really, really, really happy with this plane. Go get one. Check the link in the description below. We'll link to the battery, we'll link to this, and we'll link to the Gen 1 batteries as well. And you guys can pick whatever you need. We'll link to the NX6. Soon, hope to be looking at an NX8 or 10. Maybe get into something more, a little bit more robust, but just really happy with this thing. And I don't ever talk about this, but being able to charge this with a micro USB is really nice. It's not like the end all cure all. It's not the reason that you should get this transmitter, but it is a really cool feature because, for instance, when we do our lapel mics, we always have to charge them, and they have a USB micro plug. And so we have 2 Y splitters. And so we're able to charge this whenever we're done filming, which is super nice for us. I don't know if that's going to necessarily translate to your situation, but not having to go get a weird charger because we have so many of them.
Yep.
I mean, I have the DX18 too. It's got a much bigger battery, and so it lasts for just about ever. But the thing is, when that thing drops down, the other thing too is this seems to run on like a 5-volt system instead of a higher voltage system. I don't know why that is. I'm not sure if that's normal, but it's just a different circuit. Those ones run, you know, you're in your 6.8 volts, something like that. It's going to want to shut off on you. This thing runs down lower. I'm not sure why that is, but it's been working really good. We haven't had any signal issues. And just stop if you're going to beat up Spectrum, because I have flown thousands and thousands and thousands of flights myself, and I have had, I think, like maybe on one hand, I've had issues that may have possibly been to do with the radio, and guess what? They weren't using Spectrum gear on like 4 of them.
Yep.
And then one of them, I had an antenna broke off in a Sport Cub S UMX, you know, so like the antenna was broke off the multi-purpose brick.
Yep.
So what are you going to do, right? And that was the only times I've had issues. The other were with Lemon, DSMP, which is their auto leveling thing, not from Motion, the one that they do themselves. And then I think one of them was, you remember the Banggood Hellcat that we did?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't even know. That could have been a complete failure on something else too.
That was a long time
ago
too.
And that was a cool, people love that little firecracker. That thing was so fast and really fun to watch, but it didn't film well. And then one was the Arcus M. We had an issue, but that was a DSMS Plus. DSMX Plus is what they call it. Or DSMP, that's what they called it. And it had the auto leveling, and I went flying, and then it just like decided it was just going to reboot. And I know what it did now, because we learned later that it reboots under certain conditions. And poor Esteban, my cameo, he climbed up the tree, and then he helped me get the airplane down. And then later, the cops pulled him over, and he was all scratched up, looked like he got done breaking into something. Oh, that is hilarious. So anyway, thanks, Esteban, for climbing into the tree and staying out of the pokey. Come back for more.